Hello everybody, this is your chance to join your buddy Edward and play a little bit of Star Citizen for free. Yeah, that's right. There is a free fly going on now through February 25th. The code is GETINTOTHEVERSE and the link there is right below that. So you say, well, how do I play this game for free if I want to play with you? What do I do? Well, first, use my Star Citizen link, which I just put into the chat, the reference link, and create your account at Robert Space Industries using that referral code there, right? But don't spend any money. Create your account. Once your account is live, go back to the free fly link that was right above that. Put that in, enter the code, click whatever. Then what that'll do is that will give you access to a free fly package with some ships from now to the 25th. Then you have to download the launcher from robertspaceindustries.com/downloads, I think. Download the launcher, put the account info that you created in there, and then boom, you'll come into the game. First time you come in, you'll have to create your character and do some stuff, but essentially that's what it takes. Play the game for free from now to the 25th. If you decide afterwards that the game's not for you, that you don't want to back the alpha, there's too many bugs, you don't like the idea that your progress gets wiped, well, then that's okay. That's cool, right? Nothing ventured, nothing lost. Keep your account credentials for the next time there's a free fly. You can try it again and see if there's been enough progress made, right? So you don't have to keep making new accounts. But if you use my referral code when you make the account, and then later on you buy a package, you'll get 5,000 in-game credits for free. And if enough people use my referral code, then that's nice. If you already have an account, you can skip using my referral code if you've already created an account, and then just apply the free fly code to get in for free, right? Can't join that friend. So let's get into the universe. The last time I streamed was before our 3-day weekend. Monday was a holiday in the U.S. And I talked about Phase 3 of Xenothreat and wanting to do a test to see whether you could get paid for Xenothreat while gathering up the red envelopes. Both times I tried on stream, Phase 3 didn't kick off on the server correctly, and I just collected envelopes. Well, wouldn't you know, the best things always happen off stream. I was playing, I think, Saturday during the day. I logged in. I noticed the Xenothreat mission was available. I signed up for it, and then I saw that it was actually happening. So, and again, I didn't stream this, but I hopped in my Retaliator bomber. I flew over to the INS Jericho station, and then I flew over to the wreck site, and there were some Xenothreat capital ships. And I shot my torpedoes at them, and I blew up some of them. I know there was a hammerhead, and there was a there was another one over there too. Idris, and then the mission ended, and I got paid, and that was nice. And it turns out they ended Phase 3 of Xenothreat shortly thereafter, so I only got to complete it once. Supposedly there's going to be some forum badge that people who participated in Xenothreat will be eligible for. We'll see how that shows up. But a lot of people were complaining about the short time that Xenothreat was available. They're saying, I was busy, I have work, I have kids, I have a family. I didn't get a chance to do phase 3. Y'all need to do these for longer. You need to do them on the weekends. You need to do them during the week. You need to do them at night. You know, so I understand people are bummed. You know, and there's other priorities in life besides the game. So I'm just glad that I'm glad I got to participate in it at least once. And I'm going to take, I hope that developers take the feedback and they do a better job about communicating when things are going to happen and scheduling them. But I think you have to understand that Xenothreat was supposed to happen right before and over the Christmas break. And it wasn't ready. And they probably already had this free fly scheduled. And I think they did a smart thing by saying, you know what, let's not have the I want to fly down and do the envelopes. So let's get our expedition out. So I think they did a smart thing by not having the free fly overlap with Xenothreat. If it had all worked great, that would have been a great way to get new people excited about the game. But the reality was performance was suffering. They had made the servers have a, oh, look at this. This is the hard wall in front of the elevator bug. They had made the servers have a cap of 40 instead of 50 to accommodate Xenothreat. And they had removed Levski. So now that Xenothreat's off the server, they're back up to 50 now. And so, you know, I kind of think it was the wise thing to do, because it would have probably tanked performance even worse during Xenothreat. Pisces has only got a door here on the back. A little bit of cargo space. 2 jump seats. And 1 pilot seat. So yeah, I was busy doing other stuff for a couple days.
Anvil Aerospace. All systems online.
And when they said Xenothreat had been removed on Sunday, I kind of lost a little bit of my motivation to play. Jericho's still in the game, but I don't think anything is going on over there.
You are clear to launch.
Takeoff complete. Landing gear raised.
Thank you, and please visit again.
I had downloaded some Star Citizen profiles for my Stream Deck, but I haven't installed them yet. That's going to be something I'm going to work on this week. I did create that new thing for the Free Fly. It's really cool. I could just push a button on the Stream Deck and it shoots that right into the chat. That's nice. But there's supposed to be some buttons that you could put in the Stream Deck so you can reach and just touch a button on it to do something. I know all the commonly used keybinds or how they're mapped onto my joysticks, but there's some other ones. And I'm wondering if you can do emotes too on the Stream Deck. So hopefully that'll expand stuff. I want to play around with that. Also, the face over IP. Supposedly it doesn't work that good with the beard. And I got a COVID beard going on, but I think I might want to hook my camera up and play around with that. I'll probably play around with that off stream. And if it works okay, then I'll probably add that in. But those are some things I want to do in Star Citizen. This morning I was trying to figure out when the first time I had ever seen Star Citizen was. And I think it goes back 3 years ago to when Das Medi played it on stream. So I was watching that stream this morning and kind of really surprised at how much the game has changed since then. And I think I watched him play it 3 years ago in 2018, and I think it wasn't until I saw him play it again, because it's a little bit rough, a little bit low FPS, but I think it wasn't until I saw him play it again in 2019 and was down on Hurston. I think that's when I made the decision I'm buying this game.
Quantum drive is now on.
So here we are, we're at New Babbage now. There's the city, there's the frozen lake. Over there is the landing zone. Right? I want to fly down and look at some of this stuff though. I haven't really spent a lot of time looking. Oh, it says restricted area. We definitely don't want that. It'll take control of your ship and crash your ass. Well, it's a bad scene all around. If you call for your landing hangar too soon, the thing will close up before you get there. Put on cruise control. We'll see if we can call the landing zone from here. And we can't. That big tall building in the middle, that's where the habs are. That's where you wake up. Babbage. And then we could see this little island right here. Okay, over here, this is the landing zone. We can see the lights for the landing zone now. So let's just put on. We got it on cruise control. We'll fly over there. Bitcoin jumped up again over the weekend. It's come down a little bit, but went up. Silver went up over the weekend. It opened lower. It went up a little bit this morning. It's down. Gold went up over the weekend. It's down lower. So, I think these markets are being manipulated, to be honest. And a lot of that happens on the weekends. Now we see, please contact ATC to land. I'm going to wait till we get right there on top. But yeah, the graphics looked good 3 years ago. And they look really good now. Frame rate is much better. I'm not sure what kind of system Dosmedi was playing on 3 years ago. I know I noticed a big difference in load times when I got the SSD, but once it's loaded, the frame rates really were processor and video card related. Dosmedi's usually had a strong system, so I think the game in general has gotten much better. The servers have gotten better. So you see there are 3 towers, and there is a big hangar in the top of each of those towers. There's also hangars you fly into from the side. So let's kill our cruise control and let's ask for a landing pad. Once you hail them, you can close that window.
Landing bay.
You don't have to wait until the communication's over. So it's giving us one down now in the side. Let's put our landing gear down, which will also fold up our wings.
Landing complete. Have a pleasant stay.
Okay. So now we're landed. No side doors. No side doors on this ship. No docking hatch, no escape hatch. It's just a little basic shuttle. It's got, I think you can get a Dragonfly in it. It's got a jump drive, custom made to fit inside of the bay on the Carrack. I was trying to refuel when I was hovering. It didn't want to work. And after I landed, it didn't want to work. That's okay. So yeah, there's the city over there. We're going over there. There's a rail that goes across the frozen lake. There's somebody with a backpack on. So, but they may have collected all the red envelopes that are over here. Here's a lady you can talk to. She's an animatronic.
Hi.
Huh?
What can I do for you?
Can you tell me where the red envelopes are?
The latest generation of microtechno pods provides a smoother, richer simulation than ever before.
The marketing
From sim
message.
games to cutting-edge training programs. Well, thanks for listening. I hope you enjoy your time in New Babbage.
Oh, there's a red envelope over here.
From the best.
Okay, so every one of these we pick up and then sell is 1,000 credits, right? Because it's the red lunar festival thing. It's a celebration going on. Which, if you think about it, seems kind of weird. They avoid saying Valentine's Day. They made up Cora Moore and lore. They avoid saying Christmas. They made up Luminary Day or whatever in lore. They don't say anything about 4th of July or Independence Day. They made up Citizens Day or something like that in lore. But yet, the Chinese New Year, the Red Holiday, pretty much still has dragons and still is red, and it's very it's not really disguised. It's like the level of obscuring and making it different than IRL for the Anglo holidays is pretty significant, and for the lunar thing is just barely. Wonder why that is, or if that even is. I'm always looking for a good time. So yeah, I think that guy with the backpack is an experienced loot goblin, because the some of the less obvious places got cleaned out. The envelopes respawn per server. It's not per player, it's per server. That's my guess. So we'll make our way into the city. At some point, we think maybe these security checkpoints will say, hey, you got to take your weapons off. You got to leave your weapons on your ship. You got to put your weapons in your spacesuit into a locker, and we think that the cities will look a lot more like cities, because instead of running around with the spacesuit and a helmet on, people will be wearing civilian clothes and everything. Right now, if you take your helmet off, you lose being able to see some information about your character. And there's also places they don't have the atmospheres mapped into correctly. And if you walk into one of those without your helmet on, you could die. So it's almost, there's reasons to stay in your spacesuit and your helmet all the time now, related to game bugs, and there's nothing in the game that is enforcing taking off your stuff. But they say in the future they're gonna like maybe make you take it off at checkpoints, or maybe the NPCs and other folks will treat you differently depending upon, you know, what you're wearing, whether you've got a spacesuit, whether you've got a helmet, whether you know, that stuff's going on. So that'll be interesting when that's implemented. But for now, about the only time you need to take your helmet off is to eat or drink, and otherwise keep it on.
Capsule now approaching station. Stand clear of disembarking passengers.
I'm getting 39, 41, 43 frames per second, and my CPU is at 35, 33% utilization.
Careful, doors are now closing.
A lot of chatting global, I guess, people checking out the game, asking basic questions. That's a good thing to do if you're going to play the game and you want to ask questions. Like you can just hit return, and then it shows global chat. And then if you are on a spaceship or you are in a party, hitting tab will move you through the different options. Type your message in, then hit return. Now I didn't type anything, so it just closed out. But that's how you can use the global chat to get questions, you know, get help. Say, hey, somebody want to go mining with me? I need a turret gunner, you know, that kind of stuff. You can do it that way. The game does support VoIP, but you know, a lot of people, for whatever reason, they may not have a mic. Their mic might be a potato. They may have VoIP turned down, so they can't hear people like me that use VoIP. I've got it bound onto one of my mouse buttons. Hey, how's it going? So I can do that, but that was an NPC, which is why he didn't do anything. Don't see any red envelopes down here. Oh, there is one right there.
We're sorry. You've exceeded the allotted time to depart. We will have to return your ship to storage.
That's okay.
Initiating ship storage procedure.
It's fine
For
by
your
me.
safety, please vacate the area.
Okay, let's
Thank
go
you
up
for
into
your
the hotel
cooperation.
where the apartments are. Let's see if we can find any envelopes up there. We're
Initiating ship storage
18
procedure.
kilometers
For
away
your safety, please vacate the area. Thank you for your cooperation.
from where we landed. Now it's going to store our ship for us, which is fine. Now we can only hold so many of these red envelopes or other items in our armor. There's a finite amount of storage associated with the suit you're wearing. So at some point it's going to say, like here, you can't stow it. So if we look, hit the I key for internal storage, and it's going to say, yeah, you've got 9 in your chest, which is full, and you've got 2 in your legs, so there's room in our legs. So maybe we just were doing it too fast. But at some point our legs will become full. And then at that point you could either carry one last one in your hand, you could go sell them, or what we'll do is we'll put on some different armor. So in other words, we'll store the armor that's got the ones in it, and we'll put on some different armor. And then we'll put them in that, and then when we go to sell it, we'll remember to sell out of both sets of our armor. If you ever see somebody and you don't know if they're an NPC, if you aim at them and do F, if you don't get a menu to invite them to party or send friend requests, then you know they are an NPC. See, now we've only got carry and inspect. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to go to our loadout, and I've got the Voyager the Venture Voyager torso. So let's get the that one. And then legs. We'll put on some legs with more storage. So now we save our changes. And we have more storage space. In the future though, you'll be limited to just what you have, you know, like with you. If you want to put on different armor or whatever, you'll have to go to a closet on your ship, or you'll have to go to your hab or wherever it is that you can store things. You just won't be able to pull new items, new armor, new guns, new med pins or whatever out of your, you know, out of nowhere. But we're not at that point yet. They're slowly adding in different kinds of persistence into the game, but until full persistence, you know, is here, then you're still going to have this way to call things up. So okay, so it looks like we've gotten all the envelopes that we could find here. So let's go now to the commons where we can find some more and we can sell. Just going to look one more time in case any have spawned back in since we made our last pass. These red envelopes are in landing zones. So that would be Area 18, New Babbage, and Lorville. You're supposed to be able to sell them at those sites and admin offices. Some people have reported troubles selling at times.
approaching station. Stand clear of disembarking passengers.
Now, sometimes this train I have a problem where the doors don't open like they should. We get to the next stop and the stop doesn't load in or the doors don't open. Hopefully that won't happen to us this time. So here we go. Now it's dark here, and you'll see we left that building with the hole in it that you can fly through where the habs are, where you spawn in. Now we're turning around and we're going back towards the frozen lake, and we're going to stop at the Commons, which is like one of the last groups of buildings before you get to the lake and the train rails that take you across the lake. Let's see if the station loads in like it's supposed to. Looks good, I can see it. Very good. Okay. See if there's any envelopes down here. See any? Let's go up. See if we can find any red envelopes here, and also let's sell our envelopes too. I don't see any, which, oh, there's one over here. There's one underneath the counter there. Pardon the reach, buddy. Microtech is a planet that is very cold because of an accident when this planet was being terraformed. It was supposed to be like Earth, but the accident caused it to be Arctic in climate. When UEE decided to sell planets in the Stanton system, the Microtech company, which is high tech and has data centers, said, you know what? That would be a great place for us to put our data centers. It would reduce the cooling logistics.
Hi, thanks for coming in.
And so
Finding
they
everything
bought
all
the
right?
planet. But most of these workers here, these high-tech workers, you know, they live indoors all the time.
We just got a few new
Because it's
items
so
in,
cold
so
outside.
make sure to check them out.
And that's why you see them running around and exercising.
Hey, back again, I see.
Inside.
Welcome.
Right? It's because outside here isn't very conducive to that. So the first right and then back to the left is where you sell the envelopes here in New Babbage. Let's clear this chat off the screen to make it easier to see this. Alright. So we go to the kiosk. So I got 1,713,000 I want to sell for my personal inventory. 10 envelopes for 10,000, so that's going to be easy to remember. $1,723,000 now. But remember, we put envelopes in our other armor. So let's change back. To the Venture Voyager, not Voyeur. Well, it could be a Voyeur, but okay. Now let's go back over here. So we had 10 from before. And we have 15 in this clothing. So there we go. We're 25,000 credits ahead, and we've been streaming for 43 minutes. There are some jobs that pay better, but those jobs have additional risk, and they have overhead expenses. Now, there's not as many envelopes down here on this end of the complex, but we're going to check it anyway. Just because those that we just picked up, they won't respawn, you know, right away. So we've got the time. This is the promenade. This is where Wally's bar is found on Microtech in New Babbage. I remember I saw an envelope right there one time. It surprised me because I had never seen anything right there on those rocks, but I suppose it's possible. After you do your running, you come over here to Whammers and get a burger. Look at that. Delicious. My mouth is watering. Don't want to stop my stream to eat, but I'm getting hungry.
Hi, thanks for coming in.
Oh, look at that. Look at that right there.
Hey, back again, I see.
Hey, buddy.
Hi, good to have you back.
Those are pretty cool glasses. How's it going? You like Misk? I do too. Must be listening to her iPod, iPhone eyeglasses. You may see, these people have casual clothes on, right? And that's what you would expect people to wear. And I think in the future we'll see more of that. But for now, people just leave their spacesuits on. This guy right here.
That's fine. You do you. Need a drink, Tiger?
So the fact that I'm not seeing them all on these tables means I think somebody else has been working here, but do they know the next level? And I don't think they know the next
All right,
level.
maybe later. Looks like someone could use a drink.
Most
All
of my behind.
Hey, what the hell
Sorry,
do you think
customers are
you're
strictly
What
on
can
a
I get
stay
you?
on that side
What can I
sort
do
of
you
thing.
for?
Yeah, whatever, buddy.
What do you want?
I'm here. I'm
Sorry,
right
customers
behind
are
Beer
strictly on a
or
stay
whiskey?
on that side sort of thing.
you. Yeah.
That's it, you're done.
That's it. You're done. I need that money, Tom. Exactly.
No worries. Thirsty? Hey, you can't be back here.
I was back there. What are you gonna do about it? Not a damn thing. That guy's all bark and no bite. He yells at me every time. Every time. He hasn't done a thing about it yet. So, F him. Yeah, that was the only one we found down here, and I think it's because we got an experienced loot goblin working the area as well. Those ones that are in the center of the dance floors are pretty much, unless you know to look for them, are very tough to see. Very tough to see. Likewise, sometimes there's one that's down here on the floor. And if you didn't know to look for it, you might not see as well. So I'm going to say that's all the ones that are here. We could probably head back to sell them. Sometimes you'll find one down here on the floor. Or like I said, sometimes they'll be up on a little ledge right here. I have not found one in the ground, like the ground entrance exit. Sometimes there'll be one right down here by that rolled up mat. Oh, there's one right over here. There we go. I've also seen them before spawn right down in the corners in this exercise area. Sometimes there's a whole group of people here exercising. Nope. No. These are starting to respawn. It's been that long since the person that came through here last came through. So. This one, I think I remember getting this one before. There was one here we got last time. So we were at what, 22? Was it like 22 or something? Another 11, so that puts us like at 33. So yeah, if you find no one else is doing it, you can kind of make the rounds on a planet, and in about an hour you can get 40 to 60K worth, which is kind of cool. I want to let. Okay, this is down to transit. Where is the ground exit? Is it over here? Yeah, it's over here. Surface entrance. go down and check this. I haven't done it during the red envelope festival. I did it during Luminalia. I didn't find any packages, but Ballista, Dragonfly, Grey Cat, Rock, Rover, Cyclones. Yeah, I don't have any new ground vehicles to drive. So like here, these are the places where we think in the future you'll come in and you'll have to store your outside suits in these lockers. And it'll kind of be like a vending thing where it'll know you and it'll know what you've put into it, you know, and then it whisks it off to hand wavium. The next person can come up and store theirs in it, right? It's not like a bus locker where you put your stuff in and you take the key and it's, you know, it's blocked out to you. But we think you'll have to get out of your, you know, your gear. And maybe there'll be some other kinds of, you know, stuff that you have to do. This is like a storage area. Which right now its purpose isn't apparent. I don't think I've ever recalled a mission or anything bring me into here. They've talked about having, you know, NPC lockers where the NPCs can go into to disappear and where they can come back to spawn. So I wouldn't be surprised in the future to see things like that you can't get into, but that the NPCs come in and out of. Right? So we think you're going to have to store your suits and your guns and stuff when you come in before you can see, like this scanner right here. We think if you try to go through the scanner with the weapon or maybe even wearing a spacesuit, that's where it's going to stop you and say, hey, you know, you can't, you got to go back, you got to store your stuff, but it's not implemented in game right now. Okay, so here's the garage. The garage is closed right now, so it's not cold. It's not terribly cold in here. But once it opens to the outside, you need to have your cold weather suit on. So if you drive a vehicle in or out, or you spawn a vehicle, it'll spawn you in the garage, and that's how you do your thing. Then if you come in, you know, you come in. So it's not really an airlock, but it is a like an environmental lock. There's also a surface entrance. So if you're on foot, again, not really an airlock as much as an environmental lock. Watch, as soon as I step outside, it's like, oh, I can only last 35 minutes out here because it's really cold. There's the garage that we were just walking around in. And there's a ramp. Now what a lot of traders will do is they'll land their ships on the frozen lake right down there, and then they'll run inside here to do their trading. Because it's a lot quicker than taking the train over. Hey, what's up, person 117? Just doing a little bit of red letter gathering, and seeing what the people on the free fly are saying in global chat. Asking a lot of basic questions, but that's okay. How's it going for you today? So that's pretty much what's going on down here at the surface entrance on at the Commons. Yeah, there's a free fly. There's a free fly going on. Give me just a second. I'll post that in chat for you. Boom. There's the free fly info right there. And if you haven't already got an account at Robert Space Industries, you want to create one. If you want to do me a favor, go ahead and create using my referral link. And if you later on decide you do want to spend some money on the game, you'll get 5,000 additional in-game credits for free. And if enough people use my referral link, I'll get something. But you don't have to spend any money to play the game for free between now and February 25th. But you do have to create an account at Robert Space Industries. If you create an account now, you play the game, you decide you want to back it, well then it's too late to use my referral code. If you play the game now and you use my referral code, but you decide the game doesn't run well enough on your system, the game isn't finished enough yet for you, for whatever reason, that's no big deal. Remember your account credentials, and then later on in about 6 months when they do another free fly, you can log back in again using those same credentials. And if eventually you decide to back the game, then the referral still works for me and the credits will still be there for you. It's kind of funky the way they do it. But yeah, now through February 25th. There's a red envelope. That wasn't there when we came through last time. Look up here in global chat, it says find and enter code on the website, which is that code that I just put in there. Yeah, great. If you see me online after you get the game installed and you want to play together, just send me a friend request. Hentizen Pie, or however you say that, and usually I'm on a little bit earlier in the day, but I'm always looking for people that want to do some group play. So great, thank you. They did a terrible job of advertising it. Not sure what the deal is with this half-assed free fly. Well, the deal is to give people a risk-free opportunity to check out the game. That's sort of what the deal is, right? It's kind of a try before you buy. It's in alpha. It's in early alpha. There's still issues with the game, where there's bugs. The game's not optimized. It takes a pretty healthy system to run it on. If you kind of need to install it on an SSD, I'll tell you that right now. If you've got an SSD to install the game on, you really need to do that, or else you're going to have long load times. I started playing this game on a NVIDIA GTX 7, I think it was a 760 or a 770 in a i7, and that was okay, but the SSD really made it playable. And then after a while I said, I'd like faster frame rates. So I got a NVIDIA GTX 1060, and I played on that and was happy with the way that it played. And then I started having problems with that PC last fall, and I ordered a new PC. It's got an i9 and a 1080 Ti, also has a SSD, and I got no performance complaints at all related to the PC. The game itself's not optimized. Sometimes the server tick rates aren't that fast, but I don't think having a better PC would make a difference. So keep that in mind if you try the game out. performance issues might be related to your system, but it might also just be, you know, everybody that's not seeing any better than, oh, there's one right there. What the hell happened? That thing just picked up and flew away. It was like there, and it went whoosh. I'm gonna make a marker on that. I just pushed a button on my Stream Deck, so I can go back and I can find that easily. I haven't really been using markers or creating clips and stuff, but I mapped buttons on the Stream Deck to do that. So I should probably figure out how I can. That'll make my content production better. I'm all about low effort though, so helping me find it easier just means I have a couple more minutes to put together in the content.
If you're not drinking, I'm not making it, right? What do you want? Whiskey? What about beer?
Yeah, I get that. Usually, I'm reading global chat. Usually, they advertise and have special events and stuff. This time, it just quietly happened. Well, I mean, the red envelope thing is going on. There's some sales that are going on related to Cora Moore, which was the Valentine's Day. You sell the lunar envelopes at the terminal. What do they go for? 1K. Also, a rumor you can get ship skins from it. Now, the ship skins are in the store. If you want a red ship skin, there are packages in the store where you can buy just the skins, or you can buy the ship with the red skin. But they're not available in game that I know of.
Want a drink or something? Fine.
Okay, so I think this is pretty well we've gathered up pretty well here.
This is a bar. Drinking.
Let's look down here again. Not seeing one there. Not one on the dance floor. I don't understand this free fly. I went to the website, it talks about it, but really no directions. It also states new accounts. Okay. I'm gonna give this person a hand. around here. Oh, we're going back that way. Okay. Oh, see, there's one right here. And another 11,000. So that's not quite 1,000 a minute. You know, every little bit helps. You do your missions, you can earn more, but then you're tearing up spaceships, you're burning fuel, you're shooting bullets, you could get killed, you know. They're kind of a time sink, and so I will tell you, my gameplay would be different if there was a bunch of people running around here, and there were, you know, there were 3 of us all trying to get the envelopes. Then you wouldn't make nearly as much. You wouldn't make nearly as much, and I would go on and I would do something else. Right? But because I don't see anybody else doing the same thing, I'm going to kind of stick with this. When the Red Envelope Festival is over with, I'll go back to mining or cargo running, wherever. Oh, in cargo running, I'm still trying to get a feel for stable the servers are, right? Because 30Ks cause you to lose your whole investment in the cargo. Right? All of the cargo you bought, you lose. You lose, sir. Good day. When the server 30Ks. And so that game loop really pretty much just disappears if the servers are 30King, or if there's problems with the commodity terminals buying and selling, or if the demand, production gets out of whack. So also during these free flies, you can have a lot of people who, well, their gameplay kind of shows that they don't care, so to speak. So they could be, pad ramming and some other stuff because they feel like, oh, well, if this account gets banned, it's a throwaway account. I don't care. Or maybe they don't mean to pad ram you, but they're new, and so you're trying to bring in your load of cargo and somebody smashes into you and you lose it all. Or some other reasons. So during a free fly, I usually will look for ways to not be bothered by that. Another 8. Let's go somewhere. Let's go back to the apartments and try to see if there's ones over there now.
The capsule will be leaving the station. Careful, doors are now closing.
Questions about which mining materials are more valuable. Yeah, there's websites that keep track of that, but I think somebody said is gold and diamond the most valuable. No, the things that you're familiar with in this world are not the most valuable in the Star Citizen verse. There's some fictional laranite, bexolite, quantanium, or some things like that that are worth more.
Nearing next stop.
So knowing the lore, going to the websites and reading will help you. People keep up for stuff. Come on, open the doors. people keep up with what the the most valuable game loops are, the most OP spaceships and guns and weapons. Folks keep track of that, and it changes. Although it's not fully balanced, you don't really balance a game until it's about ready to be released. So, so this game is not, there are things in this game that people, that are min-maxing all flock and do the same thing. They get the same kind of fighter, they put the same kind of loadout on it. People that are mining, they do the same, they mine for the same kind of stuff in the same kind of areas. Which is fine, but if you're going to do that, don't complain when the pirates find you, because they know that's where, everybody tells you to go. Or they look at your ship and they go, oh, that's a bounty hunter. Why? Because so many of the bounty hunters all fly that particular ship. So somebody points out it's the L1 stations now that have refineries. So if you're grabbing ore that needs to be refined, you can choose to sell the unrefined ore for a lesser amount, or you could take it to the L1 space stations that have refineries. You could pay money to have it refined. Takes time and money, and then after that's done, you use a cargo ship and you spend time and money and take more risk to haul it in the cargo ship to somewhere to sell it. I like the mining game loop. If you're after nothing but credits, if you say, what game loop can I make the most credits with? Right now, most people would agree it's, mining. Although there are some lucrative bounty hunter and mercenary missions and some other things, but their risks include getting a crime stat and going to jail for a while. So also there's reputation that has to be built and maintained in order to be offered some of those jobs. So we cleaned this hotel lobby out of envelopes. Somebody says I'll go back to rock mining. It's simpler. Yeah. But if you think about it, you typically have to have a ship. You have to put your rock in it. You have to fly your rock somewhere, take your rock out, then you mine on the ground. Then you have to take the hand modules you got with the rock somewhere and sell them. So maybe it seems simpler to them, but play around with the prospector, more profitable than the rock. I've seen people in rocks be very profitable when they had other people that were working with them to find the next mineable and spot it for them, you know, using scanner, and also taking what they mined, you know, like offloading it. So I think cooperative rock mining can be pretty profitable. Also, it's good to have like a couple people, and then have somebody that's providing your security, right? And that's something that cooperative multiplayers can do. If you're a single solo miner, there's a greater risk. But I think using a prospector to mine in the asteroid belt is probably about as low risk. It's probably about as low risk as you can get. And that's what I've done a lot, is mining in the asteroid belt for that very reason. When you cut your jump and you end up in the asteroid belt, it's very unlikely that someone is just going to randomly run across you or be able to track you. If you, for instance, if you go to a landing spot that lets you spawn vehicles, ground vehicles, and you grab your rock, and then you start to do your mining within 25 kilometers of a ground spot like that, it's pretty likely somebody's going to see you. And if that is a pirate or a person that wishes to attack you or steal from you, well, you've increased your risk. If you're doing it by yourself, you're in a world of hurt. 12 more. Okay. 1,776,000. Just missed it.
Approaching station.
Let me go over to the spaceport again and see if there's any there. Well, yeah, that's what that's kind of what's going on in Star Citizen. You'll notice my hydration is at 59% and my food is at 83%. So at some point it would be good to get something to drink. You can buy and drink right away. You can buy and store a drink in your suit. Food you have to eat right away.
Capsule now approaching station. Stand clear of disembarking passengers.
Okay. So Somebody's asking in global chat about the best mining options. If you've got time, the 20 plus hour is lowest cost, highest yield. So yeah, if you don't mind, you know, leaving your stuff, your refining jobs to run and coming back later on to take a market, that's good. I stopped doing those when it looks like there's a patch that's fixing to move from PTU to PU. When that's the situation, you don't want to have any cargo that you bought and it's still loaded on ships, or any mining jobs running, because those tend to get reset whenever the PU gets a newer patch. Okay. We're at the spaceport. Gold Triangle says, I have not seen a single red envelope. I wonder where he is. Where? They're only in big cities. Yes, that's correct. They are only in the landing zones. At Lorville, he says. Should be in Lorville.
Tired of travel? Why not rest at the next newly renovated accommodation, located downtown, luxurious Sapphire Ground.
Like that one we just picked up. Or this one. Why is storing unavailable? Because I was doing them too quickly. The servers talk to a back end server, and so even though the game servers are different, they all are communicating to a common back-end infrastructure. So sometimes the connection to that is suffering. Things like storing and things like buying and selling.
That's pretty much everything we got.
They take hits as well.
Welcome to the new Babbage 87 spaceport. Ready to operate. Located in the plaza, the factory line, all manually taken over. From all of us at Microtech, Protect, the Empire's leader in cutting-edge technology, where creative innovation meets innovative creativity. Remember, your belongings belong to you. Keep a careful watch for all personal items.
So I think that's pretty much it all, here.
From the best in shopping, dining, and entertainment. Be sure to visit Babbage's renowned.
And again, this interplanetary customs right now, it's here, but they really don't do anything. I think this is where, there'll be stuff that you have to do
Remember, belongings belong to you. Keep a careful watch
in the
for
future
personal items.
with these folks. Those scanners that'll go off if you've got weapons, stop you, stuff like that. I don't think it's my internet that is causing it to jerk every now and then. I think this server is having hiccups. My CPU is chugging along at 40% utilization. So, it's not like my system's not running out of resources.
Doors are now closing.
Just made it. Great. So I think what I'm going to do is go back, sell these, and we've got played for an hour and a half, hour and 40 minutes now. I think that's going to be it for this session. Go on and do some other stuff around the house. I may get back on later, but I know they did increase the player count back to 50. I'm trying to get a feel for what the server stability is like. So we may do some other things as well, but we'll see. Okay, good. Looks like it loaded in. Much better. Thank you.
Hi, welcome to the store.
All right. and another 10,000. So we're working our way closer and closer to 2 million credits. We'll get there. We'll get there. Alrighty. So I think that's going to do it today. The last thing I want to do is let's see if we can get something to drink. Okay. So the first thing we need to do is unequip our helmet, because otherwise we won't get the choice to drink. And then we could say Vestal Water, confirm purchase. So now I've got a water in my hand. I could say drink and hold down the right or the left mouse button, and it's gonna drink it all, other than just, you know, like whatever. And now I can take this, I can say place, and if you put it there we go, we threw our water on. Very good. Now if we put our helmet back on, zoop, there we go. And you'll notice the thirst is gone, and my food says 79%. We're gonna leave that as that. I'm gonna say, hey everybody, thanks for watching. If you do want to play the free fly, boom, there's the code and the link to put it in. You do have to first create an account with Robert Space Industries if you haven't already got an account. When you go to do that, how about you use my referral link, please? If you do decide to back the game after the free fly, that'll get you 5,000 in-game credits for free, and if enough people use it, something nice for me. My name's Ed Wire. Normally I stream in the morning, East Coast time, a little bit later today. If you want to do some multi-role, multiplayer, cooperative stuff, I have an org. You can find the org by searching on Pareto, P-A-R-E-T-O. There's also a link there on my organization as well. Thanks for watching.
Feel free to take a look around. We